G'day guys, welcome to another layout. Now this one was going to go up yesterday, but to be honest with you, I was just having fun with my family and I completely forgot about it. So what I forgot about was the fact that I hadn't done the voiceover for it. So it's going up on Monday instead. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I decided to do is I really wanted to have a play with some stamps. These are KAISERCRAFT stamps and they were in a $2 bin and I bought them 12 months ago. I don't even know what they're called. They were just clear bags. So I just wanted to go to town and use my Versafine Clair inks and get a feel for, I guess, stamping, but do it in a sort of mixed media style. So if I completely mess it up, then, you know, it's no harm, no foul. It's meant to look like that, right? I know I need a lot more practice with stamping to, you know, consider myself a stamper as such. But what I'm thinking is this. If you've got all the right tools for success, you're going to hopefully get a good end result. Now, all of that said, I love how this turns out. This is pretty much a monochromatic layout. I just pulled out all the purples and sort of pinky purples, magentas. I pulled out in the Versafine Clair inks, I used Charming Pink, Glamorous, Purple Delight, and Monarch. They're the ones that I used, and I did use my Versafine ONYX black ink as well. So it's kind of in that, they're all in that sort of pinky purple range. Now these stamps, they are just all just marks, basically arrows and marks and dots and that sort of thing. So I just pulled out, I can't even tell you all of the stamps that I used. I can tell you that, let me see, I think I'm jumping way ahead of myself here. So let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first. I'm going to just chuck it out there. If you haven't liked or subscribed or left me a comment or any of that stuff before, I'd love you to do it this time, because my little channel's growing, and I will be honest with you, when we hit 2,000, we will have another good giveaway again. And I'm hoping to reach, this is my little goal, just me on the side, right? I would love it for Christmas 2023 if I could hit 2,000 subscribers. That would blow my mind. I would absolutely, that would be the best Christmas. I know it sounds crazy because they tell you now not to focus while I'm just stamping here, guys. I'm waffling a little bit, okay? I find that when it comes to the YouTube, the production side of things, they say that you have to focus more on your views and your comments and your likes rather than your subscribers. And I completely agree with that. Absolutely. I would rather have 1,000 subscribers that regularly check in, leave comments and engage with me. I would rather that than having 25,000 subscribers and only 200 of them watch my stuff. That is all true. Now, I find that you have to set yourself goals though. You sort of have to set yourself a challenge. And for me, the subscriber side of things is a challenge. That's my challenge. My views, and I communicate with you guys. Every time you leave a comment, I get back to you. I do all of that myself. I don't farm that out to somebody. That's all me. And yeah, some days it's pretty crazy. Like, I am a mum of 3. So, you know, well, one's a grown adult, but she's an Aspie. So, you know, we sort of got to run with that. But, I've got to say, I absolutely love what I'm doing. And for all my new subscribers, I'm just letting you know that I do treat this as a full-time job. I only started January last year. on YouTube, not obviously not scrapbooking. Scrapbooking I've been doing for 20 years, but yeah, as far as being on YouTube, and I have met some amazing people. Like, it's true when they say that the World Wide Web just makes everything smaller. It makes the world smaller. And I absolutely love that. I mean, I did a live the other day on Friday, and I had people from Italy. I had people from, don't mind my head getting in this picture. I did a second generation stamp on that arrow, and I didn't like it. I wanted it to all just look bold. I didn't want the second gen stuff. You don't know what a second generation stamp is. It's where you stamp it once, and then you come in over the top, and you stamp it once, and then you stamp it a second time. That's second gen, and then stamp it a third time, but you don't re-ink it. That's what that means. So, now this is something different. I've kind of never done this before. Flicking the plastic. You should see the really cute little flicks that you get when you do that. Next time you're playing around with your inks, do that with your plastic. Just give it a flick on the back, and it gives you a different sort of splotch. So just FYI. Now I'm coming in with my Distress inks. These are not my oxides. These are my inks. Now these are going over the top of the Versafine Clair. Now the Versafine Clair ink is a permanent ink once it's dry. You can, if you want to 100% guarantee that it doesn't move, my advice is to go over it with some embossing powder. But if you don't want to go over it with embossing powder, you can do what I did, and I actually left this sit and I came back to it because I was, hashtag mum life, doing the things that I have to do. And when I came back, it was completely dry. So I thought, you know what, we're just going to go with it and see if it really is permanently set. And it is. So all of this liquid that I was putting on top, all these inks, I use the Distress inks because dye-based inks are translucent. So when you're putting them down on top of each other, you can build them up. So if you put pink and yellow next to each other, where they cross over, you're going to get an orange. Whereas with the Distress oxides, they actually go over the top of each other because they're they've got pigment and dye ink in them. So I'm using every kind of ink and color on this. Like, believe me, I'm going to town. I am really, really liking the splatters that I'm putting on here. I didn't like the Distress ink black soot. It didn't look black enough for me. So I did come back in with, I let it sit for a little bit and I walked away, and I thought if I come back and it doesn't look right, I'm going to go in with some black paint. So I did. This is my Jo Sonja's, they call it Artist Colors Matte Flow Acrylic, and the black has an opacity of jet black. It's not translucent at all. It's fully black. So when you use that for a black splatter, you get a genuine deep dark black. It's acrylic paint. So that was what I wanted to do. I didn't want to pull in the oxides because I don't use my inks enough. I use my oxides all the time because I absolutely love them. I thought I would hate them. I do have issues every so often, especially when my hands are playing up. I really detest the chalky feel, but you got to take the good with the bad. It is what it is. So I am loading it. This is just this layout is about the process in the background rather than the photos. But these photos, this is so funny. The reason I took this photo was because my girls both had headphones in. They were both on laptops. They both had their iPads playing through their headphones, listening to what I can only think was probably Friends at the time. They watch that on loop, which is fine by me because that is one of my favorite series from the 90s. I know that's not a word. You don't have to come for me in the comments. I know that's not a word. So I absolutely love that series, and yeah, so it was great. Now, today, the reason I'm really banging this one out is because today is today when I'm recording this, but tomorrow when you see this, I will post over on Facebook what Angela's score was for her AFL semi-final today. It's exciting. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for her. Sorry about that. I'm actually really nervous for her. So, but it's okay. Now, I'm giving this stamping platform one more go. I know it has to be me. It can't be the machine. This is a We Are Memory Keepers one, right? And look, it takes a little bit because this is a foam stamp. These are the Tim Holtz Ideology foam stamps. They are called block lowercase stamp, and they're actually a foam stamp, which is not too bad. Like, I've got to be honest, I actually like the font, but that being said, I have my L plates when it comes to these stamping platforms and stamping, like I said. But if I'm going to do something, I'm going to keep doing it till I get it right and till I make it look easy enough for you guys. But I'm taking you along on the journey with me, because one of the main things that I absolutely love about my channel is the fact that you allow me to make mistakes. You allow me to show you that it's not always easy. Like, things they're not always easy for people, and some people can stamp, some people can't. Some people can use a stamping platform and some people can't. I've had this stamping platform for a couple of years, and this is probably the first thing I've actually managed to stamp on it successfully. So I can tell you now, I usually use just my little stamping blocks, but I thought, no, I'm going to give it a red hot crack. I'm going to go again. Let's see if I can do this. I am getting black ink absolutely everywhere. Look at my hands, would you? How I'm not transferring this all over the place, I will never know. But I use my ONYX black ink. That's the Versafine one, and it's beautiful. I did stamp it several times, which again is the bonus to having the stamping platform, because you get it exactly the same spot every single time. But, you know, I think I did okay. Is it perfect? No. It's going on a mixed media layout, so therefore it will blend in just fine. Won't be a drama. Now, I was procrastinating here. You can see the finger tapping. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to cut these words individually or if I wanted to leave them on the white block so they sort of had that separation. And that's what I ended up going with. I left well alone because it needed to have a little bit of white space, solid white space around the words, I think personally. So I left it like that and I glued it down. The one thing that I will give you, the one bit of advice I will give you when it comes to stamping a background like this, is you really need to plan it in advance, because like you really need to sort of think about where the photo's going, where the title's going, and then work your stamping around that. I sort of did that. I knew that I wanted my stamps to go. If you look where the big arrows are, that's the elephant in the room. So if I had have planned this a little bit better, the photo with a single photo mat, you can still see the arrows. But because I decided to go with a double mat to get that photo to really lift off the page, that's where I lost my arrows. And I really like those big arrows. So just plan a little bit further down the track than what I did. And, you know, of course, always, I'm doing these layouts with a video process in mind. So I'm also trying to make the steps flow rather than if I sit back and go, oh, just sit it like that for an hour, I'll go and have a coffee and I'll come back to it. If I did that, I'd probably do 2 videos a week, because I think the thing that I prefer to do is I prefer to just keep going. Just take the next step. Just do it. It's going to be fine. Don't over process the fact that, you know, they're a couple of arrows. So I will have a full list of everything that I've used down below. And I did come in with a little bit of metallic. This is something that I really like on a layout. I like shimmer. Oh, the shimmery goodness. I love it. I love the pearlescent, whether it's paint, whether it's liquid pearl, something like that. I like gloss and shine. I like those things, and metallic. And did I say metallic? Maybe I did. I like that on a layout just to break up the flat colors. That's what I like. So I did come in with some liquid pearls, and here is the close-up. Let me know if you liked it, hated it, or if you would do huge pass, Karen, you can't stamp, give it up. Let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you jump on board. If you haven't shared this with your friends, my channel, share it with your friends. You never know, they might pick up some helpful tips along the way. And let's be honest, we're all continuously evolving in this scrapbooking space. Sometimes we think we know it all, and guess what? We don't. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll be back with you tomorrow with another video. Bye for now.